Project planning software has multidimensional structure to it that allows for planning and managing complex projects like building and launching a space shuttle, construction of a high-rise building, and developing and bringing a biopharmaceutical product to market. All of these have in common complexity that include, among other things, years duration, thousands of tasks that must be coordinated and managed, and hundreds or thousands of resources, employees, vendors, governmental agencies, customers, and many others. Let's go through the common and useful elements of a project plan and those specific to integrated product launch, and why it is necessary to have a comprehensive project plan for a biopharma product launch. Here's an example of a basic project plan. Notice that its appearance is much like an Excel spreadsheet with rows and columns, but that's where its similarities end, and you'll see why in a minute. Each row is a task or task summary and has a task name. The columns contain attributes for each task. The outline level and outline number are used to organize the different tasks and subtasks of the plan into a hierarchy. For example, Core Claims and Detail Aid has an outline number of 1.27 and all its subtasks are numbered within that hierarchy, 1.27.1, 0.2, etc. Subtasks are also indented to provide a visual cue. Each task has a variety of attributes. Let's look at the timing attributes first. Duration, start date, and finish date are interdependent variables within each task. Duration is the lapse time of a task from start to finish. If I enter two of the three, the third will calculate. For example, if I enter the duration to be 90 days and the start date to be April 4th of 2017, the finish will calculate. If I enter the duration of 120 days and the finish date to be April 2017, the start date will calculate. And if I enter the start and finish dates, the duration will calculate. This flexibility allows us to use different scheduling methods as required by each task. I can schedule from today going forward to see how a series of tasks affect a timeline, or back into a date by setting a future date, knowing all the tasks that precede it, and building backward to determine the lead time needed. Any task with a duration of 0 days is considered a milestone. This is an empty template, so let's take a look at a plan with data. In this plan, we'll look again at Core Claims and Details Aid. Outline number 1.29.9, Core Claims and Detail Aid, is known as a summary task. Outline numbers 1.29.1 through 0.13 are subtasks. The timing attributes of summary tasks reflect the earliest start date and the latest finish date values from its subtasks, and the duration is calculated between the two, the start date and finish date. In addition to setting dates and durations, project planning software allows tasks to be triggered based on start or finish of other tasks. In the predecessors column, other tasks on which the current task is dependent are listed, and the current task will not trigger until those which precede it trigger it. This capability allows a plan to account for all interdependencies and for the marketing lead to update hundreds or thousands of tasks when a single date is changed. It is also the feature that allows us to identify the critical path of a plan and thereby proactively identify risks to mitigate and opportunities to compress the timeline to launch. Another common attribute included in project planning software includes resource names. Although our example includes functional departments, the person responsible for the task is to be listed. This provides accountability and makes clear who is responsible. IPL-specific attributes that are part of the IPL project plans include the decision approval column. This is to identify a task or its output if it is required as input for a go-no-go decision or any approval by an individual or governance group. The deliverable column. This is to designate the output or deliverable of a task as a key deliverable to be monitored in the executive dashboard. Phase. This attribute is part of the template to provide context to the task, that is, where it is located in the product development process. PowerPoint slide number column. The tasks that will be monitored in the executive dashboards are given a sequence number that ties the project plan task to the specific line in the executive dashboard workbook. And finally, the PowerPoint slide text column. This is alternate text for a task as it is to be listed in the executive dashboard. These are the basics of the IPL project plans. Project plans allow commercial leads to create a roadmap of the product development and product launch paths, providing an invaluable tool to anticipate risks and bottlenecks, manage resources, compress timelines, and keep their teams and leadership well informed.